Well, the snow was white, it was fluffy, it was light, but it still took way too long to have to shovel everything out this morning. Hey, Mike.
Sean, the amount of work that I had to do this morning was just too much.
It would have been really nice if some of the snowdrift just moved all of the snow where I have to shovel into someone else's yard. Now it's their problem.
Yeah, I was in the same boat as you, where everything blew into my parking space. You know, this morning I wake up and I'm out there just shoveling away, and we had some pretty impressive snow totals across the region. I mean, we ended up with a few spots that ended up receiving a minimum of 20 inches, 22 in VZ. We ended up with 20 in Hamden, 20 in Bath, 19 in Whiting, 18.7 in Eastport. So pretty good down east. I think that we had a band of snow that rotated back through Penobscot County and then down into Hancock and Washington counties, which is what ultimately allowed for some of these more impressive totals that you see here. And then where you see Bath there, Saginaw County was on the end of a pretty persistent snow band, which really piled up the snow, especially through the evening hours last night. 18.6 inches, Lisbon Falls, Brunswick at 18 inches, Newcastle 17 inches, Old Orchard Beach 14.8, Liberty 14.7, Thomaston at 14.5 inches, and Madrid at 12.3. If you want to head to any of the ski mountains, fresh powder out there, probably some pretty great conditions even through tomorrow and Tuesday, but once we get into the middle of the week, that begins to change. Some pretty impressive gusts out there. Down east, 77 miles an hour in Robbinston, 71 miles an hour in Cape Elizabeth. Nazkeg, 66 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour in Castine, 59 miles an hour in Portland. And thankfully, we're not dealing with those strong winds anymore. Blowing snow will not be an issue tonight, although it certainly still feels cold outside. Most wind chills at this point are back below zero, 11 below in Sanford and Bangor. So that's more what it feels like outside right now. Bottom line is, bundle up if you have to, say, maybe go home from work and walk your dog. It's going to be pretty cold out there, but it's a good idea of what it's going to feel like in the morning, too. I think that we're going to be pretty cold until about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when we'll finally get rid of that really bitter air, and we do warm up pretty nicely back into the mid to upper 20s tomorrow. Satellite and radar still quiet. This is what's allowing temperatures to drop back so much. This model, again, still running a little bit warm. I've been keeping an eye on the temperatures. Notice how it showed the temperatures climbing as we get closer to the morning. Seems pretty unlikely to me, given the current setup. By 7 o'clock, we will ultimately still be mostly sunny, but clouds start to filter back in through the late morning and early afternoon. And here it is, high temperatures mid to upper 20s tomorrow with a little bit of sunshine. Quiet again tomorrow night, but that core of the coldest air will not be parked on top of us heading into Tuesday morning, so I don't think it's going to be quite as cold. Plus, we could have some lingering clouds around, which of course will help to keep things a little bit warmer. And we've got some 30s back on the map for Tuesday afternoon. Milder air sits off to our west. Here's the warm front with a weak area of low pressure over the Great Lakes. Underneath this, all this mild air tries to move in, but we deal with something here. High pressure departing is going to keep our wind out of the east, coming off of the ocean and tapping into some of this colder air near the Canadian Maritimes. So I think that Wednesday we still struggle at first to watch temperatures climb. It does get warmer, but by Thursday, we watch a battle take place, and it happens right over northern New England, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and even parts of upstate New York. We'll have Arctic air trying to settle in from the north, and this is going to be some bitter cold air. On the other side of the front, we've got air coming out of the south and southwest, temperatures possibly in the 40s, maybe even mid to upper 40s, depending on just how warm we can get. We're going to watch this battle take place. It's likely going to be messy. I'm thinking that we've got the potential for some mixed precip, maybe some icing on Thursday, depending on how it all works out. And then maybe we'll wrap up as a little bit of snow on Friday. Seas tomorrow 3 to 4 feet with freezing spray, wind coming out of the west 5 to 10 knots. Small craft advisory extended. You just saw it pop back up until 4 a.m. So another 4.5 hours on that. 38 on Wednesday, 40 on Thursday inland, and then 27 on Friday as temps crashed, and we're back into the teens inland, 20s to the coast by next weekend. But my concern here is really this time frame. Thursday into Friday could start off as rain, Sean, ends up as maybe a bit of freezing rain and wraps up as a little bit of snow. But the problem is that we're going to have cold air locked in at the ground, warm air coming in on top, and that is the recipe for freezing rain. And I really hope we're not talking about icing potential much beyond this, but certainly not looking great right now.
Yeah, certainly never want to be thinking about ice. Mike, thank you so much.